Hello everybody and welcome to the Indestructible Potatoes Potato Lounge. I am your host Logan, and we will jump right on into a butt ton of news that we have. We just had the Oscars happen. We will get to that later. Harrison Ford was involved in another airplane mishap happening in California when Ford flew over an airliner with more than 110 passengers after being told to land on a runway instead of he flew into a taxiway which flew over the airliner. No news as to the repercussions as to what has happened, but we know that Harrison is fine and everybody on board that airliner is also fine. Jimmy V to take Kenny Baker's role as R2-D2 in Star Wars The Last Jedi. There's no news as to if Jimmy V is actually going to stay on as R2-D2 or if it's going to be just for the time being. Jimmy V did study under Kenny Baker during the time Kenny Baker was R2-D2 because they were aware of the health issues that he had and the risks and everything, so they decided to make sure that he had some sort of second to take care of it. Suicide Squad 2 has had Mel Gibson in their eyes to direct lately. This is not confirmed, but it's only in the early talks. Starbreeze Studios confirms that Payday 3 production is underway. No news as to a release date of that yet, but they say it might be a while since they are still focusing on improving and upgrading things in Payday 2. Helen Mirren in Fast and the Furious will play Jason Statham's Deckard Shaw, the character's mother. Release date for Fast and the Furious is April 14, 2017. Resident Evil 7 was the best-selling game in January. The Jedi in The Last Jedi is plural. This was noticed from the German translation of the title, Der Letzil Jedi, which apparently is plural for Jedi, meaning Jedis. Spanish also does that too. Purge 4 has been announced, looking for a July 2018 release date. They're seeking a new director. D'Amico will return, but only to pen the script, not direct, as he has already directed the past three. Jason Blum, Michael Bay, Brock Furler, and Andrew Form and Sebastian K. Lermson are producing this film. Alright. David F. Sandberg being eyed to direct Shazam, Black Adam to receive his own film as long with Shazam, so there will be two Black Adams. It'll probably be Shazam first and a Black Adam standalone film. Kind of maybe a prequel of some sort. Opening in theaters of April 5th, 2019. This has also been confirmed because Dwayne The Rock Johnson met with DC production and has been confirmed as Shazam for a while, as Black Adam for a while, but no news as to who Shazam is going to be. Donald Glover to star as Simba in a live-action Lion King. James Earl Jones will also be returning to voice Mufasa. Jeff Nathanson to pen the script, and Jon Favreau to direct. As I've stated before, the Batman Matt Reeves was actually in negotiations before the last Potato Lounge had been read. Of course, this has been confirmed, but he actually left DC when he was going through the agreement process with DC and left and then came back, and now he is actually directing the Batman. Half-Life 2, the Portal writer is no longer at Valve. Eric Wolpak has left. No news as to why he has left. Wonder Woman villain found its Ares. David Thewlis. Opened in theaters June 2nd. Rogue One Blu-ray DVD and on-demand release date of April 4th. And here's some heartbreaking news. Bill Paxton passes away at the age of 61 due to complications with surgery. Now, as we all know, Bill Paxton was in Twister, he was in Aliens, he was in Predator, and he was in Terminator. He was in trifecta of all the good evils of Terminator, Alien, and that Predator. Now, granted, I believe he did die in each film, but I don't know if he died in all, but he at least was in there, and it was amazing to see him. And I will remember him for one of my favorite roles in a film ever, and that was Twister. I will remember him forever, and I gotta admit, he was a great actor. Don't get me wrong. Predator reboot will have an R rating. According to film writers, Ethan Hunt from Mission Impossible will have a different look, and we will see a return of some familiar faces in Mission Impossible 6. Square Enix launches a new studio for a new RPG, Studio Istola, to create a new IP and further focus on existing franchises. I would not know if you guys think what franchises Square Enix has worked on that you think they might actually focus on existing and making new. Comment below. Hellboy 3 will 100% not/never happen. Guillermo del Toro has confirmed this himself after having talks with all the parties that are involved with Hellboy, and after brief consideration has been confirmed that there will not be a third one, and I am ashamed of that because I would actually like to see a third one. I actually liked Hellboy. NetherRealm Studio creative director Ed Boon said if Comcast approached him about a Mortal Kombat vs. Street Fighter crossover game, he'd have to entertain it. The difficulty explained by Boom was the pacing of the game and how different they are, which would mean the fighting stances, the brutalities, and all that. Marvel Inhumans cast Ewan Rowan from Game of Thrones to cast as Maximus. Inhumans will have an 8-episode series partnered with ABC and IMAX. Alfie Jones has joined the cast for Predator from the Game of Thrones also, and John Wick. He will portray a former Marine. Predator aimed to hit theaters February 9, 2018. James Gunn director, I can't read my handwriting. I'm sorry. James Gunn, director behind Guardians of the Galaxy, pitched an R-rated Hitman movie, but it got no ground due to the time that he had pitched the project. But every other Hitman movie has been rated R, so. Patrick Stewart says Logan may not be his last X-Men film. Hugh Jackman says that Wolverine still might be his last Wolverine film unless something else happens. He said he would actually be in more Marvel films as Wolverine if he was an Avenger, but that would require a lot of things to happen in terms of the Marvel Universe. Some Star Wars The Last Jedi shot in IMAX, partially shot. The last film was also shot, and some scenes were actually partially shot in IMAX too. J.J. Abrams shot some of the scenes in IMAX too. For exclusive aspect ratio and increased image quality, the IMAX camera was used on location in Ireland, probably for the Jedi Temple scene that you will see at the beginning, that most are assuming, at the beginning of The Last Jedi. NASA has found a new exoplanet orbiting a single star in the TAPPIST-1 system. They are Earth-sized planets. 3 of the 7 are found within the star's habitable zone, meaning liquid water and possible life. Don't know. Located around 40 light years away. Even at the speed of light would take around 40 Earth years to reach. All future Halo shooters will have split-screen support. They'll have basically multiplayer, similar to how Guardians was, maybe. Well, Guardians didn't have co-op, but it had multiplayer. Middle-earth Shadows of War is announced, the sequel to Shadows of Mordor. Released of August 2nd in North America and August 25th in Europe. Released on the Xbox One, Project Scorpio, PS4, Steam, and Windows 10. The world will be shaped by your play as well as your active NPCs or your followers, which didn't really read into much of what the game was. My roommate played it, so I had no clue. So, who knows? Bethesda has 7 projects in the work, including a new mobile game. 2 projects that we're already aware of is the Fallout 4 VR and Elder Scrolls Skyrim for Switch. So 5 projects that we aren't aware of or have no news of. Now, one of these projects that we were reading about earlier was the idea of a Fallout New Vegas 2. But doubtable as it is, speculate below. Sunset Overdrive sequel, it might still happen. But for now, the franchise remains inactive, says the Insomniac Games president. Now, the thing is, if you guys have ever played or seen Sunset Overdrive, it is very, very campy. It's amazing how campy it is. It's actually very funny. It breaks the fourth wall a dozen times, and it's a very humorous game. I recommend it if you guys actually have the chance to play it on the Xbox One, or rent it, or watch videos. But it's a fun game. The Doom co-creators didn't confirm any new projects that DICE has at the moment. No news as to a Doom sequel. The multiplayer DLC seems to be the path that they are taking at the moment to increase the product that Doom has at the moment. Eneloth Champions of the Fourth Kingdom has been announced for PC and console. It's an isometric action RPG scheduled for a 2018 release date. Nightwing movie in the works with Lego Batman director helming it. It's quote-unquote in the works. Chris McKay. It's a live-action film. Bill Dubuque was going to be working on the screenplay. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them won an Oscar for Best Costume Design in 2017 for the first Harry Potter movie ever in the Harry Potter universe. As the Harry Potter franchise itself has 14 nominations, but has not won since then. Fantastic Beasts was also nominated for the Best Production Design. Alright, now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of some things in a few minutes. The vast majority of Mass Effect Andromeda will be playable after the main story ends, and some side quests will be available. The vast majority of the game includes loyalty missions, as most would assume. Release on PS4, Xbox One, and PC. March 21st in the US. March 21st in the US and March 23rd in Europe and Australia. Studio Ghibli's Miyazaki has confirmed he's coming out of retirement to work on a new film, a full-length CG movie. Miyazaki has already stated his dislike over CG, but he apparently warmed up to the idea and has also learned how to do it himself instead of using pen and paper. Danny Glover almost played Raiden in the Mortal Kombat movie in 1995. And here is where we get to the most interesting part in the nitty-gritty of this, and this is where a lot of the debate comes from what I've read the past week. The Oscars of the 2017. The Best Picture received at first was La La Land, but then switched to Moonlight due to some indiscretion between the letter that was handed out and between the two that said it who were also in I'm gonna forget what movie it is. I'm sorry. Bonnie and Clyde. Wow, Jesus, my brain. The best director was Damien Chazelle from La La Land. The best actor in a leading role was Casey Affleck, Manchester by the Sea. The best actress in a leading role was Emma Stone in La La Land. The best supporting actress was Mahershala Ali from Moonlight. The best supporting actress was Viola Davis in Fences. The best original screenplay was Manchester by the Sea. The best adapted screenplay was Moonlight. The best film editing was Hacksaw Ridge. The best foreign language film was The Salesman from Iran. The best animated feature was Zootopia. Best cinematography was La La Land. Best production design was La La Land. Best visual effects was The Jungle Book. Best makeup and hairstyle was Suicide Squad. Best sound mixing was Hacksaw Ridge. Best costume design was Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Best original score was La La Land. Best original song was La La Land, City of Stars. Best documentary film was OJ, Made in America. And here's one thing I have to recommend about the documentaries, about the best documentary nomination. The documentary 13 or 13th on Netflix. I highly recommend it. It is a very informative, documentary, and it's very, very good. I recommend watching it, or at least putting some time and effort into actually looking at it, because they have a lot of important topics, and it's very interesting. Best documentary short was The White Helmets. Best live action short was Sing. And the best animated short was Piper. Alright. And those were all the Oscars for this year. I know there were a lot of setups, especially with that failure with the Steve Harvey incident and whatever else, and the Jimmy Kimmel and yada yada. I didn't watch it, I was busy doing film homework, I'm sorry guys. Ubisoft announced a new Avatar game from the Division developer, James Cameron, of course, just so you guys know. It's going to be heading to PC and console. There's no plot details revealed and no release date. Marvel Inhumans found its Black Bolt, Anson Mount from Hell on Wheels. He's fiercely devoted to the people of Attilan. A-T-T-I-L-A-N. I don't know. Minecraft has now sold over 122 million copies, with over 5 million checking in every month. Twitch to begin selling games purchase select PC directly through its website. Whenever a game is purchased directly through Twitch, streamers broadcast a portion of the money goes to the streamer. So if you buy a game from a person who's streaming, some of the money from that streamer during that stream will probably be split 70-30. YouTube announces a live TV service called YouTube TV. Stream content from the 4 big networks. No news as to what the networks were, but you can assume. They'll also have a cloud DVR service with no storage limit, with a 9-month time limit. The price of $35 a month. Bioshock movie was 8 weeks from shooting. Director Gore Verbinski before it was abandoned. Overwatch game browser, a new way to play custom games and interact with Overwatch community, allows players to create their own custom games using everything. Game types and rules can be switched and changed. Access through the arcade menu, and as I stated before in a previous Potato Lounge, this will help build a community and also give people the chance, instead of just fucking around, they can actually get benefits from it, like the XP and the loot boxes. And here we get to some actually interesting news that I'm actually very excited about. Microsoft announces the Xbox Game Pass, a subscription service only available on the Xbox. It will not come to Windows. Let me restate that. It will not come to Windows. Xbox originally stated that it will come to Windows also, but it will not come to Windows. It is an Xbox exclusive service. Access to Xbox One and Xbox 360 titles, $9.99 a month. Access to over 100 games and 360 games at launch. Every month, new games will come and go. All games found in the service can be bought at a discounted price, 20% off for Xbox One and 10% DLC. Only available while it's in the pass. So if it's gone, so if you don't buy it within that month and it disappears the next month, you can't buy it again with that discount. This will not change the games for gold service that they do now. When you get 4 free games a month, you will still receive that service. But it might be a bit different. They might include different games. Like, they might be very different indie games now. And last, Christopher Nolan Dunkirk has an unconventional way of storytelling. It's told through the perspective of 3 different soldiers. In the sky, you have Tom Hardy. On the beach, you have Harry Styles. And in the Navy, you have Mark Rylance and Cillian Murphy. It will open in theaters July 21st. Now, I know this is a lot to fathom, and I know I went through it pretty fast, but I was very excited to just go over the Oscars, because that was very exciting. I know there was a lot of controversy over the Oscars, and to be honest, I wasn't very excited about the Oscars, since a lot of the Oscars nowadays are just pissing contests between the between producers. But after looking at it, not a lot of the big 4 actually participate, or not a lot of the big 4 getting nominated for Oscars anymore. It's more of independent companies being nominated, and I'm very happy to see that individual companies are able to produce amazing films like A24 and things like that. Summit's even pretty good, but that's attached to Lionsgate or Legendary, I don't remember. But it's very entertaining to see things. And the thing is, not even like Zootopia got nominated for an Oscar, but not a major one. That's amazing. That's impressive to see. But tell me what you guys think below. I know we went through a lot of news today, but if you guys leave a like, comment, subscribe, that'd be fantastic, so I can keep doing these potato launches for you. They're very entertaining and eye-opening. And if you guys want me to do something else, comment below also. It's been a joy. I'll see you guys in the next Potato Lounge. Stay informed.